should get out of the center of attention there.
No, sit down. Sit down.
Oh, you want me, huh?
Sure, why not?
Mommy, can I light a candle there?
Hey, make sure you
Get Grandpa.
get Uncle Steve during his
Toast.
Get your Uncle
What's a toast?
It's a when you talk about someone. There's Mickey.
You got that on tape.
Why don't you go stand behind the sofa?
Here, why don't you
Behind the
let me...
sofa, Hope.
Yes, you are. That's
I'm going to have to doctor this.
Whoa.
Okay.
All right. So, welcome everybody. Old friends, new friends. This is wonderful. And well, you have to listen to me first, though. So, yes. Okay, you want? No. So, another milestone. Dad's turned 90. So I put down some thoughts, which I want to share with you all, kind of by means of this toast. To preface this, I want to say I'm fully aware that Dad had a life before Doug and I came into the picture. He experienced youth and friends in Santa Barbara, he went through the Depression, the World War, and all the wonder, fear, joy, anticipation all human beings will feel during the course of the events during their life. So what I want to do is share just some of the images and events which I remember from Dad. You hearing all this, Dad?
I sure do.
Good, okay. So my earliest memories of Dad was this very large man who wore a crew cut, and it seemed that his head almost touched the ceiling from the angler of a toddler. Other image I remember were of the ever-present work boots, which seemed big enough to sit in outside the bedroom door, and also the khaki pants, which were hung over the chair in the bedroom. The garage was always full of his hobbies. Remote control planes, you saw some pictures of that, diving gear, archery gear, and multiple tools. In our house, if a job had to be done, Dad bought a tool and he did it himself. I remember images of a clean white shirt, a thin tie, and a suit each morning, with the crew cut hair brushed back and out the door to work in our beloved ranch wagon. During the summer, each Sunday, the Stone Boys, you saw some of them in the slides here, and Doug and I would be strapped into one big seatbelt in the back seat of that old ranch wagon, with Mom riding shotgun. We'd head up to Rincon, and with diving gear and surfboards for a day at the beach. Just some memories and stuff. In the 70s, there was a gas shortage, and Dad's answer was to buy a motorcycle. And he made the 40-minute commute to Oxnard on the bike.
I'm gonna light another one.
I actually, as a teen, rode that bike sometimes, and I'm lucky to be alive today. He stepped up as Scoutmaster. You see all the Boy Scouts flags, which often is a very thankless job. And this experience led to a near decade of backpacking with Doug and I. And Dad continued by himself after we were out of the home for a number of years. And these trips truly are some of the best memories of my life. And this activity has become the mainstay of much of my relationship with my son Alex today. He took up tennis in his middle decades and played competitively throughout California and the USTA. Mom was always by his side, riding shotgun, as they drove to places like La Jolla and Ojai to enjoy a tournament. He loved Mom. He referred to her as his bride up until after 50 years of marriage. Ever present by his side, bringing the simple pleasure of her presence to the entire family. So after Chris and I returned from England for a stint in the Air Force, he presented me with a beautiful Loomis fly rod for Christmas. He combined this with a trip he had arranged for himself, Doug, and I back to a place called Horsehead Lake. Might be some pictures of it here. We rode horses into the High Sierra, backcountry, for fishing, and we backpacked out. It was a wonderful trip to a special place, and it was just great to be back there and backpacking again. So, as with all families, there were some rough patches. After all, it wouldn't be honest to pretend everything was perfect. One time I remember Dad uttering under his breath, but it's loud enough to hear, "It was tough sometimes, but we made it through." Consistent with the man who bought his own tools and did the job himself, he took on the family problems in his own stubborn way, I'm not sure this always made the situation better, but I can honestly say I know he always cared for us through the good times and the bad. So I've left out a lot. They're the ever-present personal modifications of the house and the cars are stories unto themselves. One particular adventure Doug and I will never forget is the kill switch placed in the VW bus, leaving us stranded in Santa Monica one memorable weekend. But what I really want to say is I love you, Dad. We all love you. And through the thick and thin. Happy 90th birthday, and here's to 90 more. Raise your glasses. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Hey.
Cheers.
Alright, I'm zooming in.
You gotta make a wish and blow out the candle.
So you can't just move your
Because
foot.
if you don't, you got 4
Quiet.
grandchildren.
Yeah, you better do it fast.
Okay, I'm just going to.
I'm gonna help you.
Here you go.
Let the kids share the experience.
All right, gotta make a wish.
I told her. I think it's time.
All right.
Get it?
So happy birthday.
Happy
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Granny. Happy birthday to you. Chop, chop, chop.
Any thoughts, anybody? Older dude?
Will, thank you for inviting us. We enjoyed meeting Dean a few times that we've known him in the past 10 years. And of course, he gives us Doug and Cindy and Hope and Taylor. We're delighted. Thank you, Dean. And many, many happy years. Happy birthday.
Here. So what, we cut the cake and then do the gifts and the cards, or what?
Whatever. Let's do gifts. That'll
Okay.
keep everybody captive for a
That
while.
sounds good, okay. I guess I'll hand them out, I guess. And
Okay.
um,
Great.
do you need some help with this, you think?
Yes.